Welcome to this special Italian wine podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinepodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Hello, everybody. My name's Stevie Kim, and this is the Italian Wine Club on the Clubhouse. Today's call is, I think, our 20th. Wow, that's pretty incredible. 20th installment of the Ambassador's Corner series on Clubhouse. We've started a new slot, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, for Italians. Alessandro Boga, I see, will be the host for today's call with, of course, Marco Caprai. And you know the drill by now. This room will be recorded and will be replayed on the Italian Wine Podcast. So you see that this room is very much an extension of Italian Wine Ambassadors and Italian Wine Podcast. And for all the listeners out there, both here on Clubhouse and on Italian Wine Podcast, as usual, I've got a small ask. You know what to do. Please go to the podcast, Italian Wine Podcast, wherever you get it, and please give a thumbs up wherever you get your pods. We'd really appreciate that. And if you'd like to also subscribe to our Mama Jumbo Shrimp YouTube channel, that would be grand as well. Now on to the show. Ciao Ale.
Stevie, come stai? How are you?
Oh my God, where are you?
Well, I'm actually in Miami. I'm down here.
Oh, you're leading the
since
good
April.
life. It's like, you are where, of course, it's like Rimini, Miami,
Exactly.
right?
That's like coming home.
What are you
for
doing?
me,
Are you
so.
working? You still have a
I'm
job?
working remotely from down here. The market now
Okay.
is exploding, so we need more help down here.
So what's going on? What is the COVID situation now?
In Florida?
Yeah.
Well, people don't talk about it. That's the situation.
So for the folks who don't know who Alessandro is, Alessandro Boga, when did I meet you? He's our Italian wine ambassador. He works for Wilson Daniels, but before that, he actually worked for Gino Colangelo. That's where I met you, right?
Yes, in 2010. I remember very well.
2010.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I met Marco before or you met Marco before. Go.
Maybe you met Marco before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marco, do you remember when I met you?
But yes, I think that.
How did I meet you?
I don't remember, but
Listen.
I do remember.
You. It has to do with Colangelo.
Yes.
You don't remember, Marco? I met you at Wine Spectator.
Yes. I remember the meeting with you at Wine Spectator, a morning in the winter.
I didn't know who you were, right? And I met him on the elevator, and I was like, "What are you doing? Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm an Italian wine producer." And I said, "Okay, so what are you doing here?" He said, "I had a meeting with, I guess it was Allison. I had a meeting with, Wine Spectator, but I don't know where to go, what to do. They told me I don't have to come, and presumably." Somebody from Colangelo was supposed to meet with you together to Spectator. Do you remember?
Yes. I remember.
And they forgot.
Yes, it's possible.
Gino forgot you. You should have known better when this happened. Were you there when this happened?
Was it possible to forget the morning of Wine Spectator?
Yes, I remember. And then I called Gino and I was like, "This is such a fiasco."
But no, it was.
But anyways, he recouped. Is Gino still your agency?
No, Gino was not with us.
I know Gino wasn't, but he was working. He organized the meeting for you, presumably.
Gino organized the meeting and wait me at the office after the meeting, because the meeting was a fantastic vertical of 25 anni. Was my first vertical of 25 anni with Wine Spectator. Many years ago, more than 10 years ago.
I know, that's when I first met you. So let me try to get you who Alessandro Boga is. I met Alessandro in when he was working for Colangelo, like many kids that I've seen pass through. For how many years?
No
For
longer a kid, sorry.
You're still a kid.
Was
In
more
my book,
young.
you're still a kid. No. How many years did you stay on at Colangelo?
5 years from
Yeah, and that's where you
November
got a great
2010,
experience to meet with actually many clients like Bisol, Frescobaldi, Ornellaia, Prosecco, blah, 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 and as well Marco. He was one of,
Correct.
you were working on his account.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, and he did such great work. You got recruited to Wilson Daniels.
Correct.
Yes, at the time I worked with Folio, company of Michael Mondavi.
Yes, and then you just followed Alessandro. I know he's your man. You do whatever Alessandro tells you to do.
But I met Alessandro.
I wish it would be the way.
So he's still your client, right?
Yes, in a two different way.
Yes,
First time,
yes.
with Colangelo, and the second time he went back me to Wilson Daniels.
And your English hasn't improved a bit. It's so sad. Just kidding. We love you, Marco. All right, Alessandro, you know the deal. Tell us why you've selected Marco Caprai as your favorite producer. I know you guys are big buddies.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it, Stevie, is because my background, not in the wine business before starting at Colangelo in 2010. And honestly, my first approach to fine wine, Italian fine wine, was with Gino at Colangelo Partners, and specifically with Caprai, because I remember I got put into the account from the beginning on Caprai as a pitch person, and I got to taste the wines, and I really got to know the whole lineup first, and eventually I met Marco later on, and I fell in love with the industry through the wines of Arnaldo Caprai. So that's why, for me, the wines of Caprai and my relationship with Marco is so strong, because it is a signature of my beginning of their career.
Your debut
Yeah, correct.
to the wine industry. You were such a baby. You only knew Lambrusco and what is it? What is it that?
Sangiovese.
No,
Sangiovese di
Lambrusco
Romagna.
è quella cosa fritta. What is it called?
Gnocco fritto.
Gnocco fritto and Lambrusco.
Well,
that's all you knew before you met
Also-
I'm from Romagna. Piadina.
Also the
Let's talk about
Piadina.
Piadina.
Ecco,
A
Piadina and
Piadina.
Sangiovese.
All right, listen. So what about what are you expecting from your discussion with Marco today? What are the learning objectives?
So it's a big year for Arnaldo Caprai because it's celebrating the 50th anniversary. The winery was founded in 1971. And I want to have a conversation with Marco and looking back at what has been done for Sagrantino and for Montefalco so far, and specifically what he has done to increase the perception and the promotion of this variety and this aero production, and also discuss opportunities for the future. Also, mostly in terms of sustainability winemaking, because Marco is very championing that side through a different project, which we're going to go through on the podcast.
That's fantastic. No, in all seriousness, Marco has done so much. He really put Sagrantino on the map, especially for the American market. And, kudos to him. So I'm very excited with our listeners to listen to you and Marco. So take it away. I'm going to shut up now. I know it's hard to believe, but I will shut up.
I don't think it will ever happen, Stevie.
No,
Anyway.
go. Okay, ciao ragazzi. I'm going to come back for a Q&A if there's time, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Stevie. Thank you
Bye.
very much, Stevie.
Thank you,
Marco,
Stevie. Bye.
I'm gonna give a little introduction with a few lines about you, and then we can start the Q&A, okay? So,
Okay.
Marco, you're from 1964, and you graduated from the University of Perugia in 1983, right? And
Yes.
in 1987, you dedicated yourself to the family winery founded by your father, which, as I said earlier, was 1971. And you did a lot for the old Montefalco area of production, which at the time was only DOC wine. You've been key in the with your Sagrantino project started in 1989 to start a collaboration with the University of Milan and specifically to get to research more Sagrantino as a native grape variety from Montefalco, which at the time was pretty unknown. Eventually, the Montefalco Sagrantino DOCG arrives in 1992, and you were the director of the consortium then. But after that, you started getting a lot of roles in prominent institutions where you've been you're still very active in the area of agriculture, promotion of the territory, culture, and innovation. You received a lot of different awards for your work on Sagrantino throughout your career, like the best producer for the Italian Sommelier Association in 2005, and also the big milestone for the US when Wine Enthusiast, the US magazine, nominated you as European Winery of the Year in 2013. Also, another couple of important things here, the fact that you were representing the Umbria region in the Palazzo Italia as a testimonial of sustainability during the Milan Expo in 2015. And from 2014 to today, you are a member of the National Council of Confagricoltura. So, Marco, talking about this, is this a good introduction? Is that good?
I started very young, and I started the mid of the 80 years, just after the terrible scandal of the methanol. The scandal of methanol was the most sad time for the Italian wine, and at the time was all we must made all in a new way. We started the project of a Montefalco project. At the time I decided with a group of farmers of the area to start the selection, the clonal selection of Sagrantino, to make a revision of the different trail system of the area, and we started the project with the University of Milano, the prof with the today it's my big friend, Professor Leonardo Valenti, and we started at the beginning. The other looked to us in a nice mode. They think that we are not normal. We think they said that we planted the vine like the tomato, and but we have maintained the direction. We have changed the trail system of the area, and we have changed the idea about the Montefalco Sagrantino. Step by step, the people, the critics, the connoisseur started to change the idea about Montefalco Sagrantino. Sagrantino was an ancient grape, probably arrived in Montefalco with the Franciscan monk more than 500 years ago. Montefalco is in Umbria, and St. Francis, as you know, was born in Umbria, in Assisi. And we are very close. We are at less than 10 miles from Assisi. And all the Umbria is considered the green region of Italy, the green earth of Italy. Our region, in every part of the region, we have the presence of the story, the presence of the culture of the Catholic Church, and in particular way of St. Francis. Quindi the wine, probably the name said to us that Sacrantino became from the Latin descendants sacer, and sacer is at the beginning of the word like sacramento, like
Sacred.
sacred, like and probably this wine many centuries ago was just a Greek wine like today or more. For many centuries, the Sagrantino was cultivated in the area. The people of Montefalco maintained the tradition of the cultivation of Sagrantino in the area. And just after the 70 years, and especially after the 80 years, with our project of Montefalco, also the people outside from Montefalco, outside by the region, started to know this special wine. Quindi at the end of the 80 years, the story of the grapes and the story of the area, the winemaking area, started to change because the small group of farmers together me started to have a vision about the quality and about that the Sagrantino was for us the stone to build our project, to build our project.
So, Marco, in the late 80s, when you started this big project to do clonal research of Sagrantino, how many producers were really actually planting Sagrantino?
But the number was a very small number. There are less than 7-8 producers.
Okay.
And all of them have a very small vineyards, and was because all the people considered the Sagrantino as a special wine, but for the time was the Sagrantino was not a productive grape like Sangiovese, like Trebbiano, or the other famous grape that was used in the area. The Sagrantino produce 50%, 60% less, and the people have with the time before the 80 years, they don't planted a lot of Sagrantino because the production was too less.
And also because it's a pretty hard grape to plant, to manage. Like the tannins, you got to be very careful the way you manage the tannins, both in the vineyard and also during the winemaking process. So that it was not really appealing at the time.
But also this, because at the time, the Sagrantino was cultivated with a trail system not too that was a too productive trail system. It was similar to a Palmetta Chiantigiana. Palmetta was the typical trail system of the Chianti area, and was a productive trail system, and was not adapted for the Sagrantino that the plants must produce less to give to us more quality. After our research, we discovered also that the Sagrantino was the grape in the world with the most high quantity of polyphenol in total. And the polyphenol was today, all the research about the quality of wine was around the quality of polyphenol. At the time, the people don't know a lot about polyphenol. And we started a research on this characteristic of the wine because the polyphenol was the natural antioxidant. Quindi the Sagrantino, it's a grape that gave a wine with a good acidity, but especially gave a wine with a in incredible quantity of natural antioxidant. And for this, the Sagrantino is one of the grape with the most high long expectative of life. And this is
It's in potential.
really,
Yeah.
yes, in potential. This is one of the most important characteristic of the international quality wine, the capacity to have a life more long respect to all the other wine. And also another quality is the tasting quality, but for all the production, the capacity to have a life more long of the other, it's one of the most important quality for the producer of wine.
So what do you think are the main aspects of why Sagrantino thrives in Montefalco? Like what are the soils, the climate, and why is Montefalco characteristics are so good for Sagrantino there?
This is a good question. Probably because the people of Montefalco was very jealous of Sagrantino. And they considered Sagrantino one of them. And but I think that Sagrantino was not used in other area also for many times because the production was too low. And one time, this was the first characteristic for the success of the grape, of the vine. Today, the world is changed. We research other characteristics before to research the high quantity production. And for many times, the people of Montefalco, però, have maintained the Sagrantino because they know that was something of special. And this is a little story about Montefalco. Also in the church in Montefalco, in the church of San Francis, in the affresque of Benozzo Gozzoli, the Florentine painter, there is the red wine, and this is very unusual for the church because the Catholic know this. In a church, the wine it's only white because red it's only the blood of Christ. Quindi also in a symbol of the church, the most important church of the village, the wine was red, and I don't know if the wine was Sagrantino, but the people of Montefalco have a special attention to the production of this wine.
Nice. And fast forward 30 years, we see how much more in the mouth of people in the restaurants list we can see Sagrantino. I mean, I can see definitely in the States different Sagrantino around. Of course, they're like more developed markets such as New York, California. It's coming to Florida as well, Texas, Illinois. But how many producers are making Sagrantino in Montefalco?
But today there are more than 60, 65 winery.
From 7 down
from
in
7, yes.
Yeah, wow.
And Montefalco, the area of Montefalco, the road of Sagrantino, it's one of the special tourist destination for the wine lover of the world. And there are many winery, a lot of them beautiful winery, and this is a very important success for the development of the area. The last 2 years was not easy, especially for the tourists the 2020, but just this year, after the lockdown until April, today we have more tourists than in 2019. Quindi the wine, Sagrantino, the Strada del Sagrantino is more strong than the COVID-19, and we have and we hope to have for the 22 for the next year. We hope to have a great season with a lot of American that will arrive back to Italy after this terrible moment.
Yes, we all hope so. So you've been very, very active in the promotion of territory through the Strada del Sagrantino and as a tourist destination, but also you've been extremely active in innovation. I mean, one of the things that you think about improving the wine is all about about innovation and experimentation. So can you tell us more about what you're doing right now in the winery and in the vineyard? And if you can start from like this project called the New Green Revolution that you started in 2015, right?
The project was born in 2008.
2008, okay.
The project was involved other 7 wineries of the area to arrive at the definition of a standard of sustainability for the Italian wine. It was a great project because today the most important Italian classification for sustainability wines is born on our project. Quindi we have made a great job for the culture of the sustainability and the culture of the area. And we have, but this was in the line of our story. Since the beginning, we have worked the concept of the quality and then the concept to make innovation. And first, when we started with the clonal selection of Sagrantino, after when we changed the trail system of the area, when we started to use the barrel for aging wine, and when we started also to try to sell the wine in the foreign market, and especially in USA. I've traveled a lot in USA to present my wine, and especially often I have made a stop in California and in Napa Valley, because Napa Valley, in my idea, remain the most great project about wine, tourism, and a concept of a lifestyle that is called the Mediterranean, but often it's a concept of the high quality life for all the world. Quindi this was a concept since the beginning, the concept of the innovation inequality, by innovation also to try new consumer that love important wine with a great structure, a great capacity to aging, but also a great quality. For this is also it's impossible to have a wine area without the high quality wine. In the challenge, if you want to work in a project for the promotion of wine area, the first it's to have Great wine, to produce great wine, and after to make the condition for the tourist for the visit our beautiful country, and especially the beautiful small village of the Italian wine.
So make great wine first, and then the arrival of tourists after, right?
Yes. Without great wine, it's impossible to have wine tourists.
Yep. So tell us more about what you're doing in terms of championing sustainability in Montefalco.
But first, we have worked to measure our impact, and we have worked on this at the beginning. And second was to start a project to reduce. We have started to reduce the footprint, the water footprint, the quantity of CO2, and also the effect of the man on the production of wine in our territory. Montefalco, the vineyard in Montefalco was less than 10% of the total surface of the area. We have a fantastic balance with the area of cereal, the area where there was cultivated olive tree, because we have also production of extra virgin olive oil, and all the other part. We have a natural balance in the area. And we have worked to maintain our natural balance and to help where the balance is more in where we have a criticity to resolve the criticity of the production.
Okay, so all a set of rules that are gonna have an impact in terms of sustainability, and also in terms of like impact to the economic community, correct, and the social community as well.
But yes, today all we know that the sustainability is not is also social and also economic. For the social, we have made a lot of some very important projects. One was a project to maintain the art of the area. We have in the area some fantastic affresque of some of the greatest artists of the Renaissance story, like Benozzo Gozzoli and the Perugino. And we helped the Museum of Montefalco to maintain the affresque and to work on the promotion for the tourists. Second, we have made was 5 years that we worked in a project with a Catholic association, organization. It's to employed the people that arrive from North Africa, and the people that arrive from a long way, that arrive in Italy, arrive and stay in our region to try to a new possibility of life in our region. Another project about social was to maintain to maintain the participation to all the activity to the social all the social activity benefic social activity of the area. But this is a little part. We have also before we have worked to transform it, Montefalco in a place most beautiful than before.
So make a better place than before.
Yes.
Through all these projects, with art, that have social impact, that have a rediscovery of the beauty of the area, besides making great wines.
Esatto.
Okay. So I wanna hear from you. What do you think are the opportunities for Sagrantino now to grow in terms of markets? Where do you see Sagrantino still as potential for growing in consumption?
Sagrantino, it's a small appellation. We have a great possibility for the future because it's a wine, a different wine. If you want to taste something of different, Sagrantino is for you. And the world make wine for the 80% with less than 10 different wine. In Italy, we produce wine with more than 400 different wine. And the Sagrantino is one of the most interesting, one of the most characteristic wine of Italy. And it's one of the big flag of the Italian wine because it's a different wine. If it's a wine rich of structure, bold, with a very rich noise, a lot of red fruit, and the characteristic it's to left the palate very dried. And this is very important because if you eat something of rich, like a steak, like a lambs,
something fatty, very fatty, and with a lot of fat and proteins.
When you finish to eat and you drink Sagrantino, your palate is fresh again. And this is a very important characteristic of our wine. Today, we sold Sagrantino in 40 different countries, especially in Northern Europe and United States. I think we have a great possibility for the future to increase the consumption of Sagrantino, but also to make Sagrantino more good than today, because every year we worked with the concept to make something better respect the year before.
And I know that there is some Sagrantino planted in other areas, such as in California or even Australia. Have you had the chance to taste any of those Sagrantino from those regions?
Yes. This is very interesting. It's a nice story because until 30, 40 years ago, Sagrantino was cultivated only around the wall of the city of Montefalco. Was a very local grapes. Today, it's one of the most big travelers wine of Italy because it's possible. There are producers of Sagrantino in more than 4 continents. There is a producer of Sagrantino in North and South America. There is producer of Sagrantino. There are many producers of Sagrantino in Australia, and there are some producers of Sagrantino in South Africa. But there is also producer of Sagrantino not only in Italy, in France, in south of France, in Hungary, in Hungary Republic. Today, after the success of Sagrantino, after a lot of other farmers in many different parts of the world started to cultivate the Sagrantino. It's the same for us, for the Italian producer, that often planted the vine that was considered a French vine, like Cabernet, like Merlot, like Viognier. And today, the Sagrantino is one of the symbol of the new viticulture of Italy, and there are many producers. I have tasted many of the wine that was on the market, and some of them was very interesting, also very similar to the Sagrantino of Montefalco, and other, especially the Australian, have a different expression of Sagrantino, more soft, more lighty. It's a different style, but this is very interesting because this is a very long way to make it wine. Is a very long way, and for a long way, it's better to be more than only one. When we are alone, the way is more long. For a long way, it's important to have many other friends that have the same project, the same vision to produce a great wine from the grape, from the Sagrantino grape.
And for the 25th anniversary of the winery in 1986, you came out with this special label, 25 anni, which turned out to be like the wine that made you famous, the winery, and the whole appellation got into the spotlight of sommelier in Italy in the mid-90s. And now with the 50th anniversary, you are coming out with a very limited production of a 50 anni Sagrantino, so 50 years Sagrantino, which is another special selection with a special vinification. Can you talk a little bit more about this? Because I know it's a very innovative way of vinifying Sagrantino.
Yes. Beh, 25 anni fa, 25 anni for us was a fantastic project born in 1993, and the project changed the concept for the critics of Sagrantino. Was an incredible wine, was a concentrate of the most innovative technique for the time. After 25 years, we have made a new big step, and we have started a collaboration 7 years ago with Michel Rolland. With Michel Rolland, we have started a new way for vinification. The way is we know that the vinification is a process during the fermentation of a contact between the skin and the liquid part. Generally, we use the tank, steel tank, vertical steel tank. This is less or more 80-90% of the world production use this technique. All the winemaker have the problem of the gravity. The problem of the gravity, and all the winemaker tried to have a low impact about the gravity. The new concept of Roland is to use the small barrel, the French barrel, and to make a passage from the vertical to the horizontal. And we make every day, we put the barrel in a horizontal way, and we don't use any machine, any pump machine to move the skin. Because this gave to the wine a different quality, because the juice it remain more soft. The tannino it's not stressed by the machine, and gave to us more round, more in the tannino more long. It's a very artisanal way of production. The production, we worked on this way for 2 months, and at the end we have a wine more round with a new great expression of the Sagrantino. Quindi this is a big step for the future, and we hope that in the next 25 years, for the 75th anniversary, hope to make something better of this.
So you call this integrated vinification, correct?
Sì, integral fermentation, vinification.
Integral, okay. And the whole purpose is to make this the tannins a little longer and softer, so be more elegant on the palate. And that's
yes, because where the tannino is not stressed.
You are thinking of applying the same technique now for the outer Sagrantino in the future as well?
Yes, we have just started, and now we have a new project to build a new part of the winery, and we hope to finish before the harvest of 22, where we can produce all the other Sagrantino with the same process.
Okay. I think, Steve, we can open the floor to questions.
Yeah, there isn't that much time left, but hold on one second. How do you like my special effects? Listen, well, thank you. That was pretty exhaustive. But I have a question, actually. If anybody has a quick question, please raise your hand and we'll bring you up onto the stage. I love this word in Italian to describe Sagrantino. Everyone says Sagrantino is spigoloso. Okay, it translates into what in English, Alessandro?
Edgy.
Yeah, but it's not quite the same, right? It doesn't
rustic.
Really characterize Sagrantino. So what I would like for you to do, Alessandro and Marco, can you give us kind of a dry tasting notes of Sagrantino? How would our audience understand when they are drinking Sagrantino?
Marco?
Oh, come on. I gave you such a softball.
Sagrantino is similar to the people of Umbria. It's
oh, jeez. I hate when he starts like this. Give me what your Sagrantino tastes like. Give me the fruits.
The fruit, vabbè.
No, fruit. What kind of fruit?
Blackberry, raspberry, strawberry, but also the...
What about other aromas apricot that characterizes Sagrantino? I feel like this is such an easy question.
I can take it over if you want.
Okay, Alessandro Boga, take it over.
Okay, I feel like
this is why you're the
missing his
PR
words
man
right now. He spoke a lot.
He's tired.
I mean, to me, like the Sagrantino from Marco is an explosion of black fruit. So definitely like the spectrum of black fruit and definitely black currant, the black cherry type of. But it's got this amazing acidity and of course the tannins, which can be quite rough at the beginning, but with the drying gum sensation. But as Marco was explaining before, with the right foods, rich in fat, rich in proteins, they're going to be able to polymerize and getting like better, softer on the palate. So it's a wine that, when Marco mentioned Napa Valley earlier, it kind of brings a lot of that tasting profile of a Napa Valley cab without that big chocolatey and velvety palate that has a Napa Valley cab. So, but it definitely has a lot of fruit. It's got the body. It's got the alcohol to stand those big wines. And there's definitely a lot of black pepper, very spicy, which comes from the French oak, the new French oak that Marco uses. So to me, it's a very well-rounded wine. And in all honesty, 25 anni, it's a great wine. It's what made Arnaldo Caprai famous. But to me, Colle Piano is one of the best deal in terms of like price versus quality. And we've been, I can definitely tell you from the sales, even during the pandemic, this wine has always been increasing in sales since the beginning we started working with Caprai. So it's a great opportunity type of wine. So that's the type of profile that I see in the wines from Marco.
For our consumer who's unfamiliar with Sagrantino, what is it similar to in terms of grape? You just mentioned cab. Is it something, if they like cab, should they try Sagrantino, for example?
A specific cab. I mean, I would go for those like very rich in fruit cab from Napa, I would say. In terms more on the flavor side, not really on the palate side, because the palate is much more edgy, as we were talking about, much more rustic. But Marco, what do you think is another grape that makes sense to compare? One of the known grapes, of course. Let's not bring up esoteric grapes.
For me, some Tannat of the south of France.
Tannat.
Okay.
And that generally was more rustic than Sagrantino, and it is not easy. But some of them was have a big affinity.
Okay. Listen, I brought Ciro Pirone up. Ciao, Ciro. I think he's got this will be the last question because I have to bring Cynthia to the train station.
Ciao Marco, ciao Stevie, ciao Alessandro.
Ciao ragazzo.
Yeah, ciao.
Ciao, Ciro.
Ciao, caro Marco. I have a question because obviously I respect a lot what Marco's done and continues to do, and in trying to pitch Sagrantino to the world. And obviously, I still represent his wines here in Boston. The challenge is obviously.
Si gioca in casa, ragazzi.
Esatto, facile. And no, but obviously the challenge, yes, is the character of Sagrantino is not easy for everybody to understand. But the main challenge probably to spread more Sagrantino, I feel, is the price point. In the sense that, I don't know if it's ever going to be possible, but will there ever be an actual, say, entry level, although maybe it's not the correct word, Sagrantino, because Rosso di Montefalco is another thing. It's not the same thing. And I know probably it's challenging to do a Sagrantino without necessarily aging for so long and whatnot, but maybe having a Sagrantino in a price point that is different than what it is now will introduce at least that flavor profile to a lot more people. So that's kind of my question. If that's
I love that question.
Thanks.
Marco, do you understand the question?
But yes, allora, we have two different wine, and Montefalco it's Sangiovese is more soft. But today, for me, Sagrantino have a very good access to the tasting because it's have a unique identity, and it's a full body wine, and it's the wine also for the people that want to drink something of different. Today it's more easy to start to drink a Sagrantino.
Yeah, he didn't. He did like Japanese. He just said whatever he wants to say. He didn't answer your question.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm going to close up the house for now. Thank you very much, Marco Caprai, Alessandro Boga, of course, our Clubhouse manager, Leica, Enjoy, our Italian wine podcast producer, and Cheeto, also our Italian wine ambassador and our friend. That's it for now. And next week, I can't remember next week who we have. Oh, it's Valeria Tennyson with Caroline Walsh, and then Andrea Ebby with Patrick Uccelli. Then Emmy Ezrin with Isabella Odero. All coming up the weeks following. So please join us. Ciao ragazzi, grazie mille.
Ciao.
Vado a casa.
Ciao a tutti.
Swirl, sniff, sniff, sip, sip. Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.
Hi everybody! Italian Wine Podcast celebrates its 4th anniversary this year, and we all love the great content they put out every day. Cin Cin with Italian wine people has become a big part of our day, and the team in Verona needs to feel our love. Producing the show is not easy, folks. Herding all those hosts, getting the interviews, dropping the Clubhouse recordings, not to mention editing all the material. Let's give them a tangible fan hug with a contribution to all their costs. Head to ItalianWinePodcast.com and click donate to show your love.